Alright, so today we're heading up to the Allison Mine. We just started up the gulch. There's actually water flowing this late in the year. And looking up the canyon, you can't see it right now, but there's some snow on the peaks up there, so there might actually be some snow at the Allison Mine. Yeah, I'm not sure about the trail condition. It might be washed out, but we'll find out soon enough. Alright, so we're still heading up the gulch to the mine, and right here there's an ore cart. It's really mangled. It's been washed down over the years, but apparently it's less buried than it was a few years ago. And let me go to the other side. It's in pretty poor shape. I'm sure the wheels have been hauled off a long time ago, but it must have been a pretty old one because you can see there's rivets in there. We're not even at the mine and we're still finding artifacts. Pretty cool. Alright, so we're on the trail high above the gully right now, and the sun is about to rise in our location. And man, this is a steep trail. But so far, the condition has been pretty good. So if I see anything interesting, I'll record it. Alright, so we made it up to the trail finally. It was a really steep climb, but so far the trail's been in a pretty good condition. Hopefully we'll get to the Allison Mine very soon. Alright, so this is looking down the trail right now. Right in the center of the screen is one of the two washouts that we had across, but they weren't very tricky, so it's been going pretty smoothly so far. And the trail gets really neat right here. It looks like it's basically carved out of the cliff. It's a sheer drop off right here. I can't imagine blasting this out back in the day, but someone did it. Sorry about the glare. Yeah, you can see the trail just hugs the cliff basically. Looks like they blasted this out. Yeah, that was a really neat section of trail right there. Alright, so we just rounded the corner and here's our first view of the mine. Right there in the center of the screen is the ore bin. Looks like it's collapsed more than it was a few years ago. Just from pictures, I haven't been here before, but right down there is the cone mill that they used to crush the gold ore. So yeah, we're gonna go down there and get a closer look at that.
So this flat terrace here was a building. I believe it actually went a little farther over, although that's flat, so we didn't throw it down. These pieces here with the wood nailed to them are actual parts of the building. That was the siding. You can see little bits of it here and there.
Yeah.
And it was built right into the hillside. You can see over here. This is
fireplace.
a small fireplace. Seen better days, unfortunately.
Awesome.
Now this guy over here. This is a boiler unit or a hot water heater. So back when this mine was operational, it used to be very common to have, you'd have a wood-fired boiler. So you can see you have the cast iron boiler plate there. I don't know if these accommodate boiler tubes. Nope. So this would probably just go over a fire. Comes up, and this gives you all the hot water you use for your house. You can see a little, there's a gate valve there. A couple of really old fittings here. Riveted hot water tank. This probably was in its own freestanding shed based off of how the pipes go through the sheet metal here. So this probably would have been the feed supply.
Yeah, if only they were still standing, huh? Alright, so right up there is one of the adits for the Allison Mine. And right here there's a piece of equipment that we believe to be a Chilean mill, if I'm even saying that right. But basically there would have been some rollers right here in this groove, and they'd spin around and crush the ore. Now, this was actually buried by rock, so we cleared it out right before I filmed this. And my buddy Xavier was saying that he believes the drive shaft went into here, and that's how it was operated, but we'll look into how these things worked. But yeah, can you imagine hauling that up here? And this piece of metal right here, we believe to be a part of a wood-burning stove. You can see that's where the chimney would come out, and right above the equipment is an adit. So I'm gonna go in there and check it out. All right, heading in. Man, look at all these bugs right here. This is really short. I'm guessing that when the stream bed floods, a bunch of debris washes in. I'm basically crab walking in here right now. It's not the most comfortable thing, so I apologize if the camera work isn't the best. There's a bit of flowstone on the wall. That's interesting. Oh man. This is tight. Oh, look at that. It's a cricket. Am I even filming him? Where is he? Oh, there he is. Wonder if that's one of those cave crickets that are blind or whatnot. Opens up a bit more. Oh shit. And it looks like the end right there, I think. Maybe not. 1 second. Oh no. Oh. Huh, it looks like there's a Y intersection right here. Because this is all filled in. I don't know, it's hard to tell. I mean, it definitely ends right there. I can't crawl any further, but this may have gone somewhere. Well, that's kind of an interesting adit to explore. Oh, look, there's a old Coors can in here. But hopefully some of the other adits here will be more extensive. Alright, so right here's another portal to the Allison Mine, and we're gonna go check it out. This one is just right in the gully. Got a bunch of cans in here.
Lots of bugs too.
Some little bottle.
I think a bunch of these are old.
Yeah, maybe like campers and or hunters coming up here or something.
They got more stamp dates. There's a mix. Some of these are quite old looking, where some of them you can tell the ridges.
Okay, so we have a branch right here. Should stick to the right. And all of this, all these rocks that I'm standing on have caved in. So don't really want to stick in here for too long. You know what? I think this is that lower portal on the map.
Well, it means that's the main working. A lot of stuff right along the side here.
There's a bit of a flowstone right there. Alright, continuing on. This adit is very humid. My lens was fogging up. This looks like a muck sheet right here. They would have placed this at the face of the drift, and when they blasted the rock, it would just fall right on top of it. And it looks like we have another branch right here. I'm going to go to the right, of course. Huh. It's getting a bit more complex. So that's a dead-end drift right there, and this drift right here also dead ends. You can see a stringer vein right here though. Let me wipe my lens off real quick. Okay, so right here at the back of this drift, there's a stringer vein that I'm guessing was what they were chasing. They're probably hoping it would widen out, but I guess it didn't. So let's go back over here, go check out those other branches. Okay, so that drift was a dead end, and this drift right here off to the left doesn't go very far as well, but there's a lot of mineralization in here. See that? It may have been on an ore body. Bit of flowstone. Alright, so that's looking outside the mine, and I just came from this way, and the main tunnel keeps going this way. It's possible it dead ends right here, or it might turn. Nope, it's a dead end. Okay, so back to the first junction, which was in that caved in section. Alright, so we just finished exploring that branch, and I'm back in this caved in junction, and we have yet to go down here, so another old rusty can. This drift feels a bit less humid, which is nice, because I was having to constantly wipe my lens down on the other one. There's some interesting colors in here. Okay, so off to the left, just a dugout area. Same with off to the right. And straight ahead I'm seeing a bunch of debris. Yep, that's a total cave-in. According to a map that I have of this mine, this used to go out to the surface, but not anymore. So at least they drove in 2 adits, because this would be inaccessible. Must have had timbering in here. Yeah, you can actually see more of it right here. Usually you only see timbering in the unstable areas, so. Alright, so that's the portal that we just explored, and we just noticed that right here on this tree, there's some drill rods hammered into it. You see 2 of them right there. Alright, so I'm standing in what's left of the ore bin here at the Allison Mine. Right up there you can see the ore cart rails. They would have spanned across a bridge or trestle onto the top of the ore bin, but that has long since caved in along with the ore bin. And right here, there's a hit and miss engine. That is really cool to see, that big flywheel. And apparently this is the clutch right here. It's amazing. And I'm guessing that hit and miss engine ran this piece of equipment right here, which is actually a jaw crusher. So usually they'd have the jaw crusher at the top of the ore bin, and then they'd send the stuff in the ore bin down to the ball mill to get further classified. But let me go get down in there so I can get you a better view. Alright, so here's a closer look at this jaw crusher. I'm gonna swing the camera around and see if you can see the jaws. Let me turn the light on real quick. Yep, right there, that's where the ore would go. And that big plate would gets narrower at the bottom, and it rocks back and forth and crushes the ore. Alright, so right over there behind those bushes was the ore bin, and there would have been a trestle right here, although it's long collapsed, and you can see the ore cart rails would have ran over here around the mountain over into this area, which is where the main adit was. And according to a map I have, the main adit must have poked out somewhere in this area. They would have just hauled the ore out of the adit straight to the mill. But thankfully there are two different ways to get into the main adit. And one is through that adit right there, which is called the stope portal, or stope adit. Alright, so we're here at the stope adit. That's what the maps we have call this portal. And this is like the famous one. This is where everyone has their pictures taken at. But yeah, right here, right inside the portal, there's an ore chute that goes down into the main adit. Don't worry, we'll be going down there soon. And this may have been the actual chute part right here, but as you can see, it's all clogged up. And yeah, they call it the stope adit because it's basically a big stope. You can see all that is stoped out. It's a really huge chamber. Might be something going off to the right there. I have to take a closer look at that. And this looks like another way down to the lower adit, although it's all filled in. Well, there is a gap, yeah.
Yeah, the way through is, you can see it a little better from that side.
Yeah, I see that right there.
You squeeze right through there.
Let's go to the right first. This looks like another way down to the main adit. I can feel a breeze coming out of here. There are just passages going everywhere in here. Oh yeah, I think this... Oh no, it doesn't. It doesn't loop over to that other stope. But one of these, it goes up and then comes out to another portal. Might be this one right here. Okay, so I just crossed this winze going down into the main adit. I didn't cross on the log, I crossed on the ledge right here. But it doesn't really go too far. See, that's a dead end right there. And yeah, stoped a bit right there, but didn't get far. And there's a little hole that goes into the next stope over. So I think what we're going to do next is climb up that one raise in the stope that goes up to the other adit. Alright, so down there is that plank bridge, and we're heading up this way, which does go out to another adit. It's going to be a steep climb. Oh, and there's that hole that pokes through into the other stope.
Yep. It's really steep here, but it tapers off towards the top.
They were probably using this as an ore chute. That could have had ladders too. Alright, so we're almost to the top. There's sort of a stacked rock wall right here, and you can see the way out up there. Let me scramble up here real quick. Okay, so we made it up to the top of this ore pass. The reason why I think it's an ore pass is because, see these rails right here? They just go straight off the edge. That log there would stop the cart from tipping all the way down there. And there's a sloping passage going up here that I'm going to check out momentarily. So let me just show you what's over here real quick. So this is another portal to the outside. Looks like they had an air line running in here. And these rails, they go over here into what looks like a massive collapse. So it looks like there may have been something significant here, although on the maps that we show, this passage doesn't go very far, so I'm not sure if they marked the collapse on there or not, but I don't think we're really missing much. These rails are cool though. Yeah, they would have just sent the ore right down there. Alright, so I'm going to go scramble up here real quick and see what's up there. Alright, so I just scrambled up there, and unfortunately this ends in a cave-in. It might be passable though, that looks really treacherous. But I don't think there's anything interesting up there because the map that we have shows it dead ending pretty much right past this. So I'm going to go head out the portal, and apparently there's some other adits out there. Alright, so I just crawled out of that. You can actually see the ore cart rails in there. But yeah, there's actually some more portals over there, but before that I want to point out this amazing view up the canyon. The scenery is gorgeous. There's a bit of snow up there you can see. Stunning. Alright, so right over there is the adit that I just came out of. And there's a bunch of small prospects in this area. That one's all caved in, but there's a huge timber sticking out of it. And there's a few more over here. You can see Xavier has climbed up to one of them. But they don't really go anywhere, I think. You were saying they only go in like at max 10 feet. See, there's some hail or snow on the ground. And up here we have an opening. Oh, huh. That one sort of slopes down into there. Actually goes both ways. Alright, so I'm in this adit. This right here is kind of like an open stope in a way. You can see it pokes out right here too, and also over there. I'm wondering if this right here is part of the ore body. From what I read, it was just a bunch of like mini shears, and the ore was in that. But yeah, there's a drift that goes this way, but it ends quickly and it collapses, you can see. And this one down here looks like it might just dead end as well. Yep. Yeah, there's that other opening. Alright, so that's Xavier all the way down there. And I climbed up to another small adit here at this mine. This one's interesting because it has that timber in here. And you can see they just placed it in there and put those wedges in. Yeah, there's not much to these mines or these adits in this area right here. They're all just prospects. Alright, so here's another adit at the Allison Mine. Looks like there's actually 2 passageways. One goes off to the right, and then the other one, the larger one, goes off to the left. So I'm gonna go hop in there and see where they go. Alright, so I'm in the left-hand passage right now. Right over here is a dugout area. Looks like they're starting a little raise. And doesn't look like it's gonna go far. Yep, that's the end right there. It's still worth checking out, especially since I hiked all the way up here, so gotta get everything I can. Alright, so this is the right-hand passage. It sort of goes up at an angle, but as you can see, it dead ends right there. So we're gonna go poke around and see if we can find any more adits in this area, but I don't think we'll find any, and if we do, they're not gonna go in very far. So right now we're heading down to the main adit level, which is the one right below this one.
I can feel an ever so slight breeze coming out of here, coming from the lower portal.
Mm-hmm. The little opening over here behind me, you can feel some breeze.
Yeah. There's a nice foothold here that I'm on. Look down, make sure that keeps going. Yep. Grab my bag. And he's off to the races.
Alright, so we're in the main adit level of the Allison Mine. We just crawled through this chute right here. You can see all these timbers. And that way goes to the outside actually, but while we're in here, let's go deeper into the mine. You can see there's some more rail right here. There's actually a junction right underneath all this debris. Let's go to the right first. This right here on the rails, we believe that was a chute gate. And this right here looks like it's part of maybe a seat for a car or something. Yeah, the rails go over here. That drift right there is a dead end. And they bend over here into another dead end. Oh wait, it goes up right here. And this, oh yeah, that's that hole we're looking down into from the stope adit. Neat. Alright, so let's keep going down the main tunnel. See, there's that junction. So yeah, let's see where this goes. Alright, there's a short drift off to the left. It'd be cool if they left the rails in this section of the mine. Usually they move them to other sections or sell them, or scrappers come in and steal them. That's a dead end right there. This one, that one should dead end according to the map, right?
It's backfill for a ways. I can't remember if there was something down there, so I'm going to crawl it and just swapping out some batteries right now.
Alright, let me know if you find anything cool. There's some flowstone right there. Let's keep going down the main tunnel. little dugout area right here. And the drift gets really narrow right here. Huh. And really short. Oh man, really freaking short. Yeah, that looks like the end to me. Look at all that flowstone. It's pretty interesting. Alright, so this is the drift that I passed on the way in. I'm gonna go crawl over there. And by the way, this isn't a cave-in, this is backfill. Because you can see that the roof or back of the mine is intact completely. Alright, so I'm gonna start filming once I get over there. Alright, so I managed to crawl through all that backfill, which is kind of painful. But yeah, it opens up back here. They only backfilled a small portion. And you can see a bit of flowstone on the wall right there. Well, actually, I take that back. They backfilled this part right here, but only backfilled it high up near the beginning. Look at that strange looking cricket right there. I don't know what kind of a rock this is, but I can see pick marks in there. I don't know if that's some, person taking rock samples or if that was done by the miners. It's hard to tell. But it bends around here. Into a dead end. Pretty colors though. Okay, right here on the floor of the tunnel, there's a bunch of weird mold growing. I don't know if it's coming out well. I think that's better. Yeah, it's really strange. Definitely wouldn't want to touch it or breathe it in, especially that. Alright, so I'm back at the spot where I entered the main adit. We were just exploring the workings down that way. But let's go over here. This will actually lead to the outside. And you can see that there's some intact rails in here, although the ties look to be rotting out. And there's the spikes for them. Yeah, it's actually really neat over here because there's an ore chute right there. And some timbering. And check out this ore chute, it's really neat. And this right here, this was the chute gate. And it would be operated by this lever, I'm guessing. And this would have been at the bottom, it would be attached right there. And it actually, they did some makeshift repair on it, where they stuck a drill rod into it. You see that? That's a drill rod right there. So yeah, something broke on it and they had to make a repair. And here's a look at these timbers. These are just tree trunks right here. And there's actually another chute gate on the ground right here. This one may have came from the chute that we crawled down, or climbed down, I should say. But or maybe not. Not too sure. Let's go over here. There's another interesting thing I want to show you. And it's on this rail right here. And it says GHH4 Germany. That's amazing. Made in Germany. And it says it again right here. And this right here, what looks like a cave-in, this actually went to the outside at one time. This was the main haulage adit, because they sent all the ore down to here through the chutes, and this would pop out somewhere below the stope adit, and then go straight to the ore bin and then into the mill. But yeah, it's all caved in, and if you see that box in there, hold on, let me get my flashlight out. that metal box is actually an ore cart that's stuck in there, which is really unfortunate. It'd be nice if it was down over here on this track section, but I guess you can't complain. And yeah, this drift off to the right goes to the outside. Alright, so here's a better view of that ore chute. And Xavier was telling me that you can see that this piece of wood right here was cut with a saw, because you can see those grooves right there. But this timber right here was hand hewn with an axe, because you can see they were just taking chunks out of it. That's really neat. Someone did all this by hand, and I didn't point this out earlier, but this is the chute that was right near the entrance to the stope adit. We were looking down this when we were up there. So it's possible there were ladders right here, and then this side to the right was where the ore would be sent down. And let's go outside of the mine. Like I said before, that used to be the main portal, and that's where the ore cart is, but they actually dug a side tunnel cutting out into the gulch, which is right over here. Hold on. Yeah, you can see the daylight. Lots of leaves on the floor. And ta-da, we're outside. Alright, so we just came out of the portal to the main adit, and we're going to go head back around to where the stope adit is. As you can see, Xavier's already making his way over there. And then after that, we're going to go check out the mill. Here's some of the scenery at the Allison Mine. It's really gorgeous over here. Okay, so we're at the Allison Mine mill site right now. This right here is the remains of a Whiffley shaker table, I believe. This right here would be the mechanism that would make the table move back and forth. Not quite sure what this part would do. Yeah, there would have been like a wooden platform on top of here, and that's where the gold would be concentrated. And right over here is probably the best part of the mill, and it's a cone mill, which is a type of ball mill. They would just basically put huge ball bearings into there with the gold ore, and as it tumbled around, it would get crushed up. And usually these were automatic feeding, and once the ore got to a small enough size, it would just come out the other end. And right down here is one of the plates for the ball mill. These would line the inside, and they would have to replace these once they got worn out. And these right here are actually the worn down remains of the ball bearings they would put inside the mill. And yeah, it's just amazing that they hauled this thing up here. It is huge. And it was gear driven. You can see right here, this big gear. It's broken though. And looking over here, I think that might be a small ore bin that would feed into the ball mill. And looking above, you can see some ore chutes, metal ore chutes. And that probably went up to the upper ore bin where that draw crusher was. And looking over here is the remains of what Xavier believes is a compressor. although it's tipped over the side, unfortunately, and the flywheel is missing. And again, that's the shaker table. And it looks like there's another piece of equipment mounted where I was standing, but it's long gone. It may have fallen down into the stream bed. We're probably going to go down there anyways just to see if we can find any other equipment. And this looks like a line shaft over here. It's all destroyed, and this looks like it was a gear possibly, or I'm not too sure what that would be used for. Yeah, every year this mill site probably gets more deteriorated. Eventually all this stuff is probably going to get pushed off the edge and into the stream bottom, and then from there it gets mangled into pieces. Alright, so I'm inside the ball mill right now. It was a tight fit, but it was doable. And right here you can see these plates that they would have to replace every once in a while once they got worn down. And looking behind me, you can see some more plates, and I believe this is where the ore would come into the ball mill, right through here. And then once it got crushed up, it would go out there as an aluminum can into the rest of the mill. Alright, so right over there behind that tree is the ball mill, and right here there are two V8 engines which may have powered the mill, or at least helped power it. It's pretty neat. And it's still attached to what looks like the chassis. I don't know if they brought it up like that or disassembled it and then reassembled it right here. And here's the other one. But they're in pretty bad shape, as you can see. Alright, so right over here by these engines, there's a really heavy-duty metal pipe coming down the mountainside. And it seems to just end right over here. And I'm not exactly sure what it was for. I'm thinking they may have had a pellet wheel here at one time, because there's a mine near here that has a similar setup where this pipe is coming down and they have a pellet wheel. I think I may have read that there was one, but I'll have to do some more digging. Yeah, we're going to go head down to the canyon bottom, see if we find any more pieces of equipment. Alright, so we're here at some more cabin sites at the Allison Mine. Just like the first one we filmed, these ones were destroyed by the Forest Service as well. You can see there was like different tiers. This one was the lowest one, and then there's another flat spot right here. And then another one and another one beyond that. Yeah, unfortunately there's hardly anything left of them. Someone's made a fire pit right here though. This wouldn't be a bad place to camp, to backpack up here.
It would be kind of nice.
Yeah.
That's not too bad of a backpacking trip.
Alright, so here at the Allison Mine, there's a small structure we found. We're not quite sure what it is. It might be an outhouse, although it's right above the cabins. So it doesn't really make sense to put an outhouse right there. Let me go around here and get a better view of it. May have been a just a storage shed, or maybe a generator shack. We're not so sure. But hey, at least one building survived at the Allison Mine. Alright, so right here above the Allison Mine, there's a waterfall, and there's an even bigger one right up above it. And I'm thinking that there's actually an adit right above this waterfall, so we're gonna go climb up there and see if it's there. Alright, so we just bypassed one of the waterfalls, and right here there's a really tall, beautiful waterfall. This is great. And what's even better about this waterfall is that there's a mine right by it. Right here. And it's a really beautiful adit with all the plants growing above it. Yeah, I'm gonna go look inside. It's all flooded, so I don't think I'm gonna go all the way in. Alright, that's looking outside the portal, and looking in, you can see it's flooded with a ton of water. If you went in there, it'd be like chest deep almost. And it actually looks like I can see the end. I don't know how well the camera can see it, but let me try zooming in. I believe that is the end. Uh-oh, too far. Stop. Alright, that's... I know you can't really see it, but I believe that is the end right there. It's just a flat wall. Yeah, if I ever come up here again, just glue some on, yeah. One last look at the Allison Mine. That was a really amazing adventure.